All right, are we live?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna open the meeting at 5:02 PM, September 11th, 2023. First order of business is to accept our meeting minutes from June 5th that Mary sent over. Thank you, Mary.
Yes, I made an error on that. So we had a meeting on June 5th, which got canceled. So those meeting minutes, because the clerk didn't cancel it in time, I had to write a word for the cancellation. So we should be approving February 27th meeting minutes.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from February 27th, 23.
Second.
motion been seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Terrific. All right, and now next we're gonna review our project list. Turn that over to you, Evan.
Okay, I'm just gonna read down the list, if that's
Yeah.
all right. I think we're all fairly familiar
Yeah.
at this point. So we did $2.5 million for an HVAC project at the school. 300,000 for ADA projects at the schools. We allocated $100,000 for our ARPA consultant. We allocated 50,000 for our website upgrade, although we have finished that project and we only came in at 45,000, so. We also have MS4 stormwater compliance at 150,000. Our joint water project at $500,000. We have expended all of those funds. That project is complete. Just need some final paving still. Yep, but that's not on our dime, the final paving, so we're good. Municipal parking lot, I'm sure you all saw when you came in, it came out pretty good. We are under budget on that. We have a couple of items left to close out, but we'll be under on that. Because we had originally allocated 475,000. We had $50,000 for the food bank. $50,000 for the skate park design. 75,000 for South Grafton Community House. That is out to bid currently. Not currently, it should be out tomorrow or Wednesday. We just approved the spec sheet. We had 250,000 for PD and fire department radio. We haven't spent any of that. And we are in talks to see whether we're going to spend any of it or not.
Fire, if the fire chief has spent money towards that.
Yeah, we spent on the repeater, Pigeon Hill.
I thought that came out of the earmark.
No, the portables came out of here.
Okay, so let me augment my statement. I don't know where we are on that. I'm gonna have to drill down on that. We're not gonna spend the full balance.
No, I
can
think
tell you that.
like they maybe 20,000.
Yeah, it was still- That was
small.
short money.
Yeah,
Right, I think we're probably gonna be looking at a $200,000 turn back. There, we had our first regional meeting, so that's in progress. The rec plan and pickleball, we have spent like 35,000 of that, and rec is spending, is entering into their plan phase now. We just got our new director, so that'll be up and running. Shortly, economic development, they've spent 6,200 of that, $100,000. We are actively pursuing public Wi-Fi as a project in the parks.
Okay.
So it's a technological challenge, but we're getting there. We actually have a meeting on Thursday afternoon regarding that.
I did want to talk to you about that.
Sure.
Because, if we're using ARPA money to pay for the public Wi-Fi, what will happen after?
So,
Will we work it into our budget?
yeah, it'll be a nominal fee, because what we're trying to do is create public Wi-Fi hotspots that are on what's called our F-man network. That's a fiber optic cable that runs to different locations. So we're targeting those parks that are on that network.
Okay.
So the internet still will come out of this building and carry everything via fiber optics to the common, Perry Hill Park and one other location that we're scoping out now. So we might have to increase the bandwidth that we are able to handle here, but it'll be not, I'm not concerned about. It's not, we're not adding $1,000 a month or anything. It's
Okay.
gonna be fairly nominal.
Got it.
Okay. Sidewalks, we just approved the last select board meeting, the design, or well, the cost of design and the contract. So that is, in motion. Council on Aging fuel assistance, I think we still have a balance there,
Yes, and they're still going to,
and they're
I
gonna,
just
they're
gotta,
gonna just roll it into this year's
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Senior center van, we did purchase that, and that's parked out front. And we did allocate money for outdoor exercise equipment at Nelson Park or another park. So.
Yeah.
We are getting to the point where shortly, I would say, by December, we're gonna have a new tally on what we think we're gonna turn back on a lot of these projects,
Okay.
so that we will then have to reallocate.
Okay.
But we're just in the throes of a lot of them.
Yeah, so let me ask, just for the purposes of this committee.
Yes.
The reallocation, is that really on us to reallocate, or isn't that, I mean, I thought for our job, we were just make recommendations. And then it went to the select board, and then the select board, and we had made some recommendations on how much we could spend and everything.
Right.
I'm just thinking in terms of the life of this committee, and when is it, I know we still have one bucket we haven't really filled yet, which is that mental health piece.
Right.
So we can wait to see how much we have left, or we can say to the select board, this is our recommendation, we want it spent on mental health, have at it, we're completed, and this isn't on the agenda, but I did kind of want to talk about that with this committee. Because at some point, I feel like we've done our job and we're gonna start doing other people's jobs.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe in December,
So we wait.
kind of wait through December and then
Okay.
maybe we'll make a list from there and then say, this is our recommendations.
Okay.
Use, this is where we think it should go. I think we're not gonna stay here until the last $1,000 is spent, kind
Right,
of a thing.
okay, good. All right,
Well,
I'm good
one
with
of the
that.
thoughts that I was having in parallel is, when we get to December and we have a better idea of, some of these bids that are they're just coming in now.
Yeah.
And we know what we have left, as a balance. We could, at that time, look at, both our survey, right, and do one final recommendation to the board.
Mhm.
And then make that clear to the board that here's your final recommendation. All of the rest of it is on you, select board, to spend down, to the last 1,000.
Yeah,
And I do want to, I think, Jay and I need to put our heads together a little bit too, because we do have a pretty sizable capital plan backlog that we're always playing catch up on, and we might have recommendations out of that to come to this committee. We might have recommendations, of things that we've partially funded here that,
right,
we.
we
that
had
are-
cut some,
Yeah,
that we could put
right.
money back
And,
toward.
and so we can figure that out at that time.
Okay.
But we are, it sounds like we are making progress, just a lot of this stuff is.
I
I feel like we made a lot of
I think
progress.
I was a great.
Yeah,
And I thought
We've
it'd
done
be
a lot.
farther, I thought we'd be farther, I mean, the schools are in great shape, with that HVAC project and everything else, but.
Yeah, no, I think we have a lot, I mean.
A lot of it
some-
was time.
It's timing, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
It's
but
the
everything
industry.
has been, there's not a lot out there, which is why I raised the question, like, I
Yeah.
don't think we're sitting on a ton of money, and I think we did a great job going through that survey, so I like this plan of waiting through December. I still really, now I keep pushing it, but we maybe, if it's not working with Stop It Solutions, maybe we should think about something else.
So I did
Did you check-
email
Yeah.
and
did he get back
copied
to
you, no. And that's what I've been, the initial time was on me.
Yeah.
I had to cancel a meeting, but then ever since then, I have not been able to get,
I'm talking to him tomorrow.
okay. I'm perfectly willing to jump on a call, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
Or Zoom.
I think it would be great from what I know about it, but I don't know enough
Okay.
to. Okay, all right, I'll talk to Kevin tomorrow.
So just a question on this, so on the HVAC, that's spent for 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've actually physically written the check, but it's in process of being written, the project is installed within that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was one of the biggest nuts sitting out there.
The sidewalk we did, it was 90-something thousand, someone signed a contract.
Yeah.
For the design, and the survey's actually already done. So that'll be at least that 700. So maybe more, so we're going from the intersection of Old West Road and Wall Street to Stonegate Circle. You just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Where do we say with the skate park?
So, we are still in search of location essentially, it was a big holdup. And that just keep circling back to location. I thought I had a great place at Ferry Hill. We met some of the residents around the area who concerned about noise. Cause the one I had built previously, it makes some noise,
It does make noise, yeah. It's respectable.
so.
Next to the pickleball court.
Yeah, put it right out there.
You and I.
There you go. So, yeah, we're still looking at locations. We do have an opportunity coming up that I think might flesh itself out by December, and that is, we're working with the water department to do a land swap for some water infrastructure that would then give us some space over at Follett. And one of the things that's interesting that we've heard, I know Anne Marie's heard it, I've heard it a bunch, is not only skate park, but is also a dog park. And so is that a location that we could do one or both of those things? Problem with the skate park is we're trying to find locations that are walkable and skatable for kids.
And also not tucked out of the way like that.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's part of the problem, like, I think the dog park would be fine.
Mm.
I think that the folks that, you know, they're gonna load their dog in the car, they're gonna go there, get out and socialize. And that's, you know, that's pretty common. The skate park is a little harder because you've got the residential factor, you've got the walkability factor. You want it someplace that's safe for the kids, but also safe from vandalism because you can see it.
Mhm.
So that's a challenge, that one. You put on the roof here.
Build it, they will come.
Yeah. Or out front, we'll make it like a plateau.
What, I'm sure you've come up, I'm sure you, the old, salt shed, what's,
The DPW garage.
Yeah.
It's under a purchase and sale agreement right
Oh.
now. If that were to fall through, I mean, again, the sky's the limit for conversation as far as what to build there, but
what's gonna go there? Who's looking?
it's residential.
that's supposed to be next use, right?
Well, yeah, that's what they say, but
That's residential.
yeah, I'm leery of all of the mixed use right now, because if you look at what's happening in other communities,
It's not
they
really
build the
working.
residential first and then the mixed use never follows.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's retail space available everywhere,
Mhm.
so it's not really a great economic model. It is if you form, not to go too far afield, but like, you're out at like the Pine Street area, where there's not really anything else around. You have a captive audience there of, you know, 200, 300 apartments, so you could put a convenience store there or a grocery store or
Mhm.
whatever. Some of these ones like by the center, there's a lot of stuff you can just walk to.
Right.
Right.
So anyways,
What about, you know, on the other side of Fisherville, past the mill park there's a little lot. I mean, you know, that there's like the greenhouse thing and then
Yeah.
they're just putting dirt there.
that's,
Yeah, the same people that own the bill probably own
So
that.
that's Gino.
Yeah.
And that's getting sold separate, but hasn't there been a for sale sign on that?
Yes, yeah, it's all, it's, you
Yeah.
know, I don't trust the word you guys said.
so yeah,
This is
there's,
recorded.
yeah, I will ask.
We'll mute that out.
No, yeah, I mean, that's a great spot too, like, it's been a challenge, like everything.
Yeah.
It's not even, it's got a minor detraction, it's fairly major, I mean, the Perry Hill Park, like I said, it needs to be redone, so it seemed like this is a great opportunity to do two things at once.
Right.
But the area where the skate park would go it's pretty densely populated right around it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's one home and that, I went to the outreach meeting and that person was there. And definitely had this was not related to skate park, it was just dogs and some other benign things. Some big issues about noise, so I
Yeah.
said I didn't think that was gonna work there.
yeah, you don't wanna solve one problem and create
I
10
know,
more.
I'll keep looking, I've literally been, you know, I drive around for the last 10 years trying to figure out a spot.
It's tough,
Yeah,
so that's where we are there.
thank you for that. I think a lot of great work has been done, so thank you to.
I honestly thought we'd be further.
Well, I don't know, I mean, considering we're
Yeah, we have.
government related,
Yeah, with the government.
post-pandemic, I don't know.
Yeah.
We did some education projects, I mean, pretty
That,
fast, I
I'm
think.
very happy with that, I think that's a great project.
Yeah, oh,
And the consultants are still on the.
Yeah, but we're gonna have money to turn back there too.
Yeah, because we don't really utilize them too often, just for the reporting and
Yeah, when we had originally asked for the 100, I think we thought that the reporting was going to be both more frequent and more arduous. And it kind of hasn't been. And our contract with them is on an hourly, so
Okay.
I think we've only expended like $7,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what this says, 75/40.
Yeah. So I think, again, we're gonna have some,
Oh,
even
good.
if we left it at 25 come December to have a buffer. I mean, you still have $75,000 going back into the kitty.
That's great,
Okay, that's the thing, we're gonna have, like, I hate to dissolve it all together, because I. think
Yeah, no,
we
no,
have
now it's-
some money
yeah.
to just play around with, which would be great to look back at the list or.
Yeah, no, I
some of these
agree.
things more.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm in forever, I love this committee, I don't wanna, I just wanted to bring it up.
Paul's really into it.
I know
The other,
Paul-
the, I mean,
Paul
we-
really
the other,
wants it.
I know we spent some money of work. I was surprised to see it. I was happy to see it.
You could have just denied coming,
No.
it's okay.
Um,
He wasn't allowed home.
one,
That's
one
fine.
thing that we will definitely come up in December is ADA upgrades for the municipal center.
Oh, yeah.
Something I'm constantly chasing. You see the construction downstairs with these service windows. I know the school's just chasing ADA stuff. So that might be a really good bucket to talk about with some of this turn back. Is our ADA compliance, the ADA reports that we have, and how are we getting there? Because those are things that are hard to fund. Because they wind up, they're super important, but they wind up just being low on the totem pole when you get to operational costs and capital planning. So that's something I'd wanna make sure we're talking about, but we can do that when we have a better idea what that pot is.
Okay.
So when do you think December's realistic, or,
I
I
do.
mean, we don't have to make up that. decision
No,
right
I
now,
think
but-
that's been the date that the month that I've had in my head, because we're gonna, we're heading into budget season then, or we're kind of supposed to be wrapping up some of the budget season then. But capital should be pretty much, we'll have a great idea. We'll have our capital meeting in November. So again, we'll have a good idea of what's there, if there's anything that's staring us in the face that we just can't get done. And then we'll have better numbers on all of these projects that are just being bid now.
Okay,
Yeah,
great, I mean, it's a good problem to have, with extra money, and we can better fund things, or fund new things.
yeah, exactly.
But I do think we've made a lot of progress, and I think that's something that we should communicate out to people, that a lot has been done.
Yep.
And we did a good job listening, not to pat ourselves on the back, but we
No,
went through that survey, and
that survey had the best results of any survey we've probably done in a long time, maybe ever. So. All right.
all right, anything else? Tell people.
I can just say, I can get more information on the equipment. I do have like just this one guy that I emailed back then, I think that we saw a little bit of what basically it's like come up with a number and, they can,
They can fit it in.
yeah.
Were we still thinking Nelson Park? Or were you thinking of, because we also talked about, well, it's called different things, the Washington Mills, Washington Mill
Right.
Park, the Whitney Park,
Right.
right, it's got different.
I know I've been following the planning board and all that, and I know they have it in one of those plans. I don't know
Yeah.
if they were thinking that, there was big the money from here or not. It probably would be not that big. It's not like a huge space, that park.
Right,
So I don't know how many things you end up putting in there. I like the idea of Nelson Park myself, but that's just me.
it's different processes, because Nelson Park has trustees that
Right,
oversee
right.
versus
It's,
Whitney Park, which is easier.
Yeah.
Not to dissuade that conversation, just.
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, that's something that, sorry to interrupt, but
No, good.
I met with Skip up there at Nelson a long time ago, and with Jen Anderson actually years
Yep.
ago. In that Nelson area about the skate park. So there's kind of sort of some spots potentially there,
Okay,
but I hadn't gone much farther, because at the time, we didn't have money either.
well, I think that since we've got a little time heading towards December, we should also, let's reach out to Skip.
Yeah.
And do a little tour over there. I need to get a tour with Adam anyways, our new rec director, because we're supposed to be moving rec into the Nelson Library.
Right.
So it's probably one big holistic conversation about where we're headed in that area.
And if that were the case, then this would even make all the more sense that potentially you have this outdoor recreation there, you know, kids, in a skate park, if recreation is kind of there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like it there, actually.
I mean, I didn't necessarily picture it having to be a walkable place, the skate park, like most parents I know, they drop their kids off,
Yeah. No,
you
it's-
know, I mean, it's nice. if
It's
they
nice
can.
if you can put it in an area where there's
Sure.
lots of young families that's walkable.
Yeah, but you think people are there playing, you're watching your big sister play softball, you can go over and, you know, I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many things
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, Nelson Park's great, because you got the disc golf, you got,
Yeah,
we could add more pickleball over there.
So,
The one paved where the old
The
basketball
basketball.
hoop is, you know, could be a potential, but that's the one place where there's a house right there.
exactly, I was just gonna say, I was thinking the same. thing.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a big
It would be-
fence, but
it's
still,
nice
it
to
would be
have
a-
it-
it would
to
be
have
obnoxious, yeah.
Yeah,
no, maybe like
So-
a fishing place.
I'm talking about the
It's
skate
quiet.
park.
okay,
That's such a good thought.
Yeah,
yeah. All right, so we can certainly, we can get that done before we get back together. And
I'm assuming
Have
it
a
has
good
to be
idea of where
approved
to
by
go.
the trustees, right? If they had anything.
Yeah,
not,
which I mean, that
I'm,
was, you
yeah, I'm
know,
sure,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know who else is on the trustees.
I only know Skip.
It's, yeah,
I just go through Skip.
I think it's Billy Cook. I think the retired graphic,
Yes, we did it. We appointed him at a town meeting.
he's, you know, he's in a butter, so it's right there.
Yeah. They did, the Nelson Park Library Trust did agree to let the town enter into a lease for that space. It is a cool spot. I love it that we would potentially put a rec there, because it has an indoor, like activities space
Mhm.
off to the side, so when you're doing, you know, these camps and stuff, it's right there. I think that would be really neat.
It's a great spot.
It is
It's
a good spot, underutilized. at this
Yeah.
point, So,
And they have the other side of the road too, eh?
Yeah.
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 So it could be either, you know, it could be over where that development is going.
Across from Prentice.
Yeah.
You could really, you could do food trucks over there,
Yeah.
plus TV. Expand out there,
There you
have more play.
It is parking, that's the only issue, is no parking.
Right.
It's across the street and that's it though.
Yeah. I don't know, I think you always make it work.
No, I'm saying, but, you know, even expanding the parking lot at
Yeah.
what will be the rec building, would be a benefit.
Yep. Maybe roll that into a project that we're doing.
Yeah.
As we get there, you know?
Cool,
Yeah.
great. Anything else? Paul, you wanna stay a little longer?
I will say as long as you need me, also. so.
Really appreciate it.
That was it.
All
It's
right.
the whole day.
Okay, so do we wanna try to pick a date? We sometimes do that at this meeting.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then worst case, we can always,
Yeah, but it is nice to have it.
Yeah. so. What do we typically do second, in December, I know is tough, but we could do December 11th.
I have a meeting at 5.
Okay.
Already booked out.
I
December
know.
11th.
Wow,
It's a
fancy.
board meeting. I know.
What about December 3rd?
That's a Sunday.
The
No,
fourth
I'm
would-
sorry, 4th.
Yeah. I could work.
just
Fourth,
looking
I'm
for it.
busy on the
On
third,
the-
the
on the
fourth
third?
works.
Okay.
All right,
Why don't we tentatively schedule for that, and then
great.
if it gets
Can you
closer.
guys come earlier or no?
Yeah, well, yeah, Mondays I can, because I don't work
I
Mondays.
mean, I
I
could,
was just thinking that most of the committee work, you know, this is after hours on this.
how early? I mean, I could block it off, it's only 4:30.
No, that's fine. with me.
It's fine.
I can do 4:30.
Just coming here for some reason, I thought to myself.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Sure.
4:30 on the 4th,
4:30 on the fourth. Okay.
I'll write that in my bound book.
I am
Okay.
the same
sounds
way.
good.
I am old school.
All right.
Get away with it.
Are we adjourning that?
I'm gonna say motion to adjourn.
I moved to adjourn. Or can you think of it?
Second.
Motion made, seconded, any further discussion, hearing out all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, everybody.